Hey girl, hey! I am Jamia Ponder, host and creator of The Mrs. Beside, a safe space dedicated to the real ones standing beside and never behind. Girl, this life ain't no joke. It's time, let's air it all out. Trust me, I understand. Whoo child, I know it's a lot. Hey girl, hey! Okay, so I'm back with you for my season 1 wrap up. Y'all, I'm so grateful for all the love and all the support. But make no mistake about it, this podcast was literally birthed from a place of brokenness. I'm not kidding. As many of you guys know, when I started, I had something happen. Right. And I'm going to tell you what happened to me, what drove me, what led me to start this healing journey, this healing walk. So I was on a conference call. This was around the time that COVID kind of first hit. I was working hard, making a lot of sacrifices and basically burning the candle at both ends, right? So home life, volunteer life, where everything was up in arms, up in flames, kids, everything. And so I was on a conference call. And I felt like, I had been putting my best foot forward. And I struggle, past tense and sometimes present tense, with feeling enough. And so I was on this call, and the person that was leading the call was out passing out accolades, right? So saying, thank you to, these are hypothetical names at this point. Thank you to John and Jimmy and Joe and Jana and Patrick and who else is on the call? Anybody else on the call? Great. Anyway, thank you to our team. And I mean, literally never called my name. And ordinarily, right, it wouldn't be something that would bother me. But y'all, I was so bothered by that, literally to the place of tears, crying, upset. I'm like, what the heck is going on? First of all, I'm a valued member of said team, right? Or at least I felt that way. But in that moment, I felt like there was literally nothing that I could do that would make me enough. And I started having flashbacks to my childhood where I would do things to gain attention, right? So I had this performance-based love, this need to perform to satisfy whoever it was, to make them think that I was good enough, right? I was killing myself to prove my worth instead of just being comfortable in my own enoughness. And so I started this downward spiral. I was a hot mess. And I think it was just the last drop in that bucket that I was carrying that was too damn heavy. And so I was venting, and the person that I was venting to told me, hey, you know what? I think you probably need to get some help. Would you be willing to do the work? And I'm like, yes, I'll do the work. But again, at that time, I still thought, okay, I struggle with my feelings of enoughness. Maybe if this person, if this counselor, if my counselor, my therapist just listens to me and tells me, you know what, Jamia, you're right. Okay. All these people did you wrong. And, she needed to be on my side. But what I quickly found out when I was in therapy was that the attention was really turned on me. Like I wanted the attention on me, but I didn't know it was really going to be turned on me in a sense that she challenged my thinking. She challenged everything that I thought to be true, right? And all of the things that I told myself that if I didn't do this, I literally felt like I could not mess up in my marriage. I couldn't miss a bill payment. I couldn't miss a deadline. I couldn't miss in my parenting, I couldn't miss a parent-teacher conference. Like I couldn't miss. And so just for a little bit of background, for you guys, I grew up, my mom and my biological dad had me. I was a prom baby. And so they sort of co-parented for a bit until my mom and my dad got married, and there was a falling of the tides. And so we all know what happens, right? You get lost in the sauce. And so there was a break for me where my biological father was not in my life. And so I dealt with issues with abandonment and feeling like I wasn't enough, right? Why did he not choose me? He raised my sisters, right? But didn't raise me. And just struggled with feelings of not feeling fought for. And though my dad, stepfather, who I call my dad, was there for me, it never quite filled that pain, that void. And so from 7 all the way up to 18, when I sought him out, my biological father, that is, I struggled with that immensely. And so every birthday that passed, every holiday that passed, literally carrying this burden, this void that wasn't there. I didn't have him there. And so I think as much as we try to tell ourselves that relationships with this person or that person are not important, they are, right? And that's the tape that we tell ourselves, oh, I don't need him, or I don't need her, or I don't need this, or I don't need that. Yes, you do. You do need it. And you all jacked up. I'm all jacked up because of it. And so these things don't always present negatively, right? They can present in ways that seem to be positive. So for me, because I didn't have him in my life, I felt like for my kids, I had to overcompensate, right? I had to always be there. I had to be at every event, every field trip, and every parent teacher conference and volunteer for everything and be room mom and be class mom and be team mom. And I was burning out. Kids are naturally designed to take from you, right? They take. They're kids. They're your kids. You give them what, what's necessary. And my kids are by no means struggling or didn't have enough, but I was killing myself trying to hide all of my imperfections because I was afraid of the judgment. And part of it, right, lives in isolation. When you don't say those things out loud, when you don't acknowledge that you have an issue, that's part of the doggone problem. So anyway, moving along, that's what led me to therapy. And so starting to unpack that, right? Starting to clean out those wounds. They are painful wounds, but it was necessary that I heal, right? And so when I got to that place, God began to really minister to me and be like, okay. And I felt this draw, like I know if I'm feeling this way and I'm carrying trauma and not only trauma from a missing parent figure in your life, but when I was 14, I had my first job, my very first job, and I was working and I was so proud of myself. Y'all think I made $5.25 per hour, okay? And so I was working, doing a really good job, okay? I would get dropped off in the morning and I would work my little shift. And, I felt like I was nice and grown up. And I started to get the attention of guys, right? I didn't know until I was 14 that I was even cute. But I knew that I knew that I liked the attention, right? Because people actually saw me. They saw me for me. It wasn't just Robbie and Ryan's sister. It wasn't just Jerry and Robert's daughter. It was Jamia. Like, they saw me. And so how many of you guys know, like, with attention comes attention? And so guys started to notice me and I would flirt back a little bit. But there was this one manager that I had and he took it too far. And so I can remember being cornered, like literally, it was probably by definition molestation at the age of 14. So imagine, and okay, I never told my parents. I should have said something and I didn't. I suppressed it. I buried it. But as my therapist likes to say, unexpressed emotions never die. They come back in much uglier ways. And so I'm thinking, again, here I am. I'm 35, 30 fine, and I got kids and I'm doing okay until I hit rock bottom. I fall completely apart because my name is not called at a conference call and I'm in therapy. And so as I start to unpack all these old wounds, I'm thinking it's just dad issues. I'm still carrying this molestation that I never addressed. And so I realized it's showing up in my marriage. So every time my husband goes to touch me, it startles me. And the startle turns to anger, it turns to frustration. Like, why are you putting your hands on me? Well, why am I reacting that way? This is his show of affection to me. And I'm taking it personally because I've never dealt with this. So, guys, carrying trauma is problematic. It was necessary that I start this walk. And so, as I've mentioned to you guys over the course of the season, we have to get back to the essence of who we are. And in getting back to that essence of who we are, we have to resolve these old things. We got to dig up these roots, because if not, they'll kill the new growth. They'll kill it. So anyway, I'm releasing and relating and relaxing that. But I never shared with you guys what drew me to therapy, what led me there. And I wanted to make sure that I told you guys kind of the backstory a little bit as to what brought me to this place of brokenness, where I look really good on the outside, but as my therapist likes to tell me, I was wearing a very beautiful mask. And on the inside, I was extremely broken. Extremely broken. Oh boy. We're not going to do that today. No. No tears. Not going to do that. So anyway, like I said, when I got to that first session, she asked me 2 questions. She asked me, who am I? And she asked me, what am I most proud of? And at that session, I couldn't answer that. But guys, I'm here to tell you that I'm able to answer that today. So I'm going to read to you what I wrote. And I'm going to get through it without crying. Okay? Do you hear me? I'm going to get through it without crying. So she asked me, who am I? And this is who I am. I am happy. I am whole. I'm courageous. I am brave. I have no lack. I am chosen. I am equipped by God to fulfill my purpose on this earth. I am confident. I am walking in my purpose. I am a giver. I am a hard worker. I am responsible. I am worthy of love. I am exactly where I'm supposed to be. I am fearfully and wonderfully made. I am not forgotten. I am loved. I am treasured. I am influential. I'm funny. I am intelligent. I am not perfect, but rather perfectly imperfect. I am flawed. I am forgiven. I am a forgiver. I am positioned to receive blessings. I am more than my past mistakes. I am more than the trauma I've experienced. I am not a failure. I am exactly the mother that my children need. I am the wife that my husband desires and needs. I am living in a place of abundance. I am gifted. I am peaceful. I am calm. I am passionate. I am healthy. I am successful. I'm grateful. I'm blessed. I'm generous. I am empathetic. I am compassionate. I am productive. I am trustworthy. I'm responsible. I'm unique. And more than anything, I am more than enough. And so are you. You are all of those things, despite how you feel, despite what you've been through. You're more than enough, exactly the way that you are. And so I challenge you to really start to believe that and to really walk in that, because there's so much power in that. If you can ever start the journey to really forgiving yourself and really believing that you are all of those things, you guys have so much power within you. And you're so capable. And you're already doing it. But you have to make a choice. You have to make a choice. So, now that I have completely destroyed myself, here it is. What am I most proud of? I am most proud of the woman I become. And I can proudly proclaim that I am the host and creator of the Mrs. Beside and your friend. So, that is my wrap up to season 1, y'all. I have literally uncovered who I am. I've undone what I've done. I'm unfiltering. I'm becoming unbothered. I'm living unrestricted. I'm living unafraid. I'm taking the sensors off. I'm unwinding. Even when things are unpredictable, I'm still moving forward. I'm getting back my balance. I'm getting back my balance. I am no longer unloved. I'm walking through things that are very unfamiliar. I am moving past things that are unexpected. And today we're unlearning some of those things. We're starting to get into some areas where we're doing some serious thought work. We're capturing our emotions and we're taking ownership, right? So we're taking ownership of the things that are in what we perceive to be out of our control. And so for me, the thought work piece has been, all right, if I willingly do something, right? If I want to do it, I'm taking the choice to do that. When I was being coached by Laura McElderry, we talked a little bit about feeling like, okay, well, I'm doing all of this for Desmond, right? I'm moving across the country and I moved to this country, moved to that country. I'm working, I'm over here flipping chicken in a kitchen with no AC. And we'll put a pin there because I'll tell you about that. But I'm over here, working 2, 3, 4 jobs, making, trying to make ends meet for him. I'm thinking I'm doing all this for him, right? Jamia, S on my chest. However, what she told me is, I was like, well, wait a minute, you trying to check me. But what she told me was that it's a choice. I had a choice. I could have stayed here in the States. I didn't have to move to Dominica, but I wanted to. And so the more that we can take ownership over those decisions of saying, I wanted to do this because I love my husband, because I want our family to be together, versus me saying, I had to go because, this son of a gun wanted to move all the way, it's my choice. And so when it's my choice, then I have a different attitude about it. I can say, you know what, I did choose to move over there. And guess what? I had a great time. My children had a great time versus feeling pigeonholed and having to do something, because every day, whether you like it or not, you have a choice. Now, there are consequences on either side, but you have a choice. So take ownership of that. And we'll talk a lot about that in season 2, is having ownership of those choices. The more that you can take ownership over, the things that are happening in your life, or the decisions that you're making, rather, whether it's to be intimate or to not be intimate with your husband, to, pleasure yourself or not pleasure. These are all choices. Okay. And it's not just sexually, but, also moving for jobs and relocating and all of these things are choices. And so if we can take the ownership piece of it, our attitude towards it changes a little bit. So we'll talk a lot about that in season 2. So that's just a little preview into season 2, which I'm super excited about, by the way. So now that I have cried all over my microphone and in your laps, I would like to sort of close out this episode by making an announcement, but then also reading to you guys what my why statement is, right? So my why statement is to encourage women to put themselves on their to-do list in order to realize that they too can be fulfilled. You can be fulfilled, sis. You figure it out for everybody else. It's time to figure it out for you. Okay? So, in addition, coming available for pre-order is going to be a power-packed, it's going to be called The Mind of the Mrs. And it's a memoir that's going to follow along season 1, and it's going to be some more of my heart in book form. And so I'll give you guys some more information about that. I'm going to make, obviously, lots of posts, and I'll probably even make a little quick video about it. But I really want to give you guys some of or get us to start this journey together, right? Where we're doing the work. We're going to start asking ourselves some of those hard questions. We're going to start poking around in our heart, figure out, what is it that you even like to do? Who are you? And I know that's a big question for only 3 little tiny words, but they're important words because you're important. So really, I love y'all so much. You don't even know. I pray for you. I think about you guys a lot, even though I'm not always on here, but you're my friend. I'm your friend to the end. I know it's a lot, but you are worth every bit of it. You hear me? You're worth every bit of it. I love you so much. And until next time, until season 2, sis, keep glowing. All right? Love you dearly. Until next time, bye.